Hey, so you might be wondering why I'm just a lazy slob who can't even put on a nice shirt that's making these vlogs and why does this lazy slob who can't even get dressed bother to make a vlog when you know everyone out there is eating metaphorical shit. Why can't I put a little bit of care into sharing my thoughts with people? Why do I, waste your time by wearing, just a t-shirt that, was barely fit me when I was, huge? Um, why am I sitting here with dirty jeans? That right there. I'll tell you why. Because I don't want to eat metaphorical shit. I don't. I think that that is the easy way out. I think that eating shit is it's disrespectful to yourself. That's what I think. And I don't think this because, I'm judging other people. I'm saying this because I actually know better. I know better because I make myself do better. Not for the vain shit like wearing a nice shirt and, putting on clean jeans. It's because I'm not content just complaining about eating metaphorical shit. I'm doing something better. I'm doing something greater. I'm doing something greater with myself. I don't have to motivate people who complain about eating shit and how fucking easy it is to eat shit. It's so fucking easy to be grateful about eating shit. It's a whole nother story to man the fuck up and not want to eat shit ever again. That's it. That dirt on my jeans, it's probably shit. It's probably literal horse shit. I am on a farm. I am on a farm, and my wife and I, our job is to shovel shit for animals so that they don't step in their own shit because they shit where they eat. And they're totally fine eating their own shit because they're fucking animals. They lack the awareness to understand that they're that we are the ones that shovel their shit. They're so fucking entitled that they'd rather delude themselves for being grateful for having food that they eat their own shit. They're animals. They're not disciplined. They don't have the capacity of a human being to know better than eating shit. It's not that eating shit is your way, it's that eating shit is for lazy assholes who don't want to put the work into themselves, who don't want to look inward. I'm so grateful that I woke up in a country where things are so fucking easy that I don't have to eat shit. I don't have to sift through shit for my food to eat it. I'm so happy that I can choose to shovel shit for animals. I don't get paid to shovel shit. That our job isn't to make money. Our job is just to have our needs taken care of. That's so we can have this lovely home that somebody else worked longer than I've been alive to be able to afford it. That's why I'm shoveling shit. I don't get to eat their food. I have to buy my own food. It's literally just to have the luxuries of people who have been around working longer than I've been alive. To partake not of all of their bounty, but a sliver of it, and not just when I want to, when they want to let me. They are on vacation. I have the opportunity. I've paid $120 a year to trusted house sitters to come out here and shovel shit of animals, not for free food and board, but literally just free board. That's it. I get free room, I get free internet, and I get freedom to make sure I don't disappoint the expectations of other people and what they've built, because I've come to an agreement. I'll shovel the shit of your animals. I will love them like they are my own. I won't resent the fact that I have to shovel shit, because I'm not eating it. I'm not eating the literal shit I'm shoveling. So we have two options: to delude ourselves with this fairy tale that it's okay to eat shit like a crazy person, like a hyper-productive crazy person, instead of the discipline to understand that manic bullshit is the reason we got into financial hard times, is the reason that entrepreneurs are entitled as fuck to people's attention, is the reason that companies feel entitled to the data that you didn't even know you were sharing with them in perpetuity. And yet the people who tell me to eat shit, and I laugh at them, and they call me entitled, shovel shit, loser. It's it's so easy. There are people who want to pay you to shovel their shit. And instead of just shoveling it and them trying to correct your mistakes when they told you how to shovel shit, and you're just like, I'm just happy eating shit. And they're like, don't eat it, retard. That's it. Like, you gotta understand where I'm coming from. 50 years ago, I would be called a retard. I grew up in a time where I was not labeled retarded. I was labeled mentally ill. I had to learn not to listen to delusion and not to run towards manic feelings of happiness and call it gratitude. There's so many people who work so little to get so much. And yet they're unwilling to shovel people's shit without telling them some delusional story that their parents are great, that everything is perfect, that the world is great. I shouldn't complain. I should just eat this shit that somebody is paying me to shovel and smile. The reason people don't want to look at you is because you have shit in your teeth, motherfucker. That's the truth. So stop acting retarded from somebody who has all the qualities. So my video got cut short, so I'm going to pick it back up with that emphasis. An alarm came off to remind me that I have to go take the horses out to pasture that I barely cleaned up from shoveling their shit. And it interrupted my video. I don't have anything to complain about it. It is what it is. I don't fucking care about production quality. I don't fucking care about your complaints. I have so much empathy for things that need to get done that I can't afford to have sympathy for people who want sympathy in order to listen to the hard fucking truth of empathy. If you don't have the humility to understand empathy without it being loaded with the sugar of sympathy, you don't deserve my sympathy. It's not that you can't deserve it. It's not that you don't, as a human being, deserve my compassion. It's that in the moment, if you require sympathy to think that my empathy, to think that the hard truths are lacking compassion, I don't care whether or not you're 10, 20, 40, 50, 55, whatever the fuck. I don't care if you're 70. I don't care that you want to be happy eating shit. I don't want to care that I don't need to care that you want to be happy eating your own shit or eating other people's shit. I get to call you a retard. You know why? Because I was literally a retard. 50 years ago, I would have been a retard. In the 90s, I was the equivalent of what in the 50s and 60s they called educably mentally retarded. I had to learn to not just be content with eating shit, that I was worth more than that. That I don't need to be in the service of other people, be their smiling shit eater. I don't want to be a jester. We deserve better. I don't care if you're getting paid large sums of money and you're grateful that you have the opportunity to be the highest paid jester. They're still throwing shit at you because they expect you to eat it, motherfucker. You've done great things. But it's time to grow the fuck up. Stop living in manic la-la land. This isn't judgment. It's judgment day. I'm not your God. But I sure as hell feel like it when you dismiss me and say, I don't believe in you. I don't believe in what you're saying, like people do for gods all the fucking time. Because that's what it is to be a god. It's to understand that nobody wants to fucking listen to you. Because there's manic assholes running around saying, let's be grateful for eating shit. It's so hard to, clean up all the shit. Let's just be super happy that we're eating shit. I'm glad that you're figuring out how to be productive. Now learn how to turn yourself inside out. Be vulnerable for a goddamn minute. Stop doing things for vanity's sake. Stop doing things because you want to be grateful that the world is shitty and you don't know how to make sense of it. The world is meaningless. Your choices give it meaning. And if you choose to pull the wool over your eyes because you just want to be happy, join a fucking cult. Don't turn good things into a cult. Don't turn productive things into a happiness cult. Fucking don't turn capitalism into, what Mormons did, Mormonism, all this shit. Like, this is delusional. And it's not judgment. It's judgment day. Who am I to judge? Stay in your fucking lane. And when I tell you that you're retarded for wanting to eat the shit off of other people's shoes, it's not me judging you. It's me knowing better because I know more. I put myself in positions that you can't imagine. I imagine things that you won't let yourself. That's how I know more. That's how your lane is my lane. I own your lanes. When it comes to the emotional domain, you're either co-owner with me or you disagree, but you don't own shit. You don't own your emotions. If you're chasing happiness, I don't care how hard your life was. I don't care if you never want to eat literal shit again because some bully made you eat shit. Stop seeking sympathy. You're such a child. Grow up. I don't care if you're older than me. I don't care if you've accomplished more than me. I don't care if you believe you own your lane. I gave you the bricks to create your lane. I gave you the paint to define your lane. That's the type of person I am. It's not me. It's everyone like me through history who's put up with manic bullshit artists who sell you on eating their own shit and other people's shit. Instead of eating it, get your shit in order. Stop just being the best shit eater and paying other people to clean up your own shit. Get your life in order. Stop being a loser. You can be anything you want to be if you just stop eating shit and deluding yourself that shit is all there is because you're just riding on your talents. You didn't work for your talents. I don't care if your talent is to be a brilliant painter or to be, really organized or to be self-aware. If you were born with it, you don't own it. It's why people look at you like you're a manic asshole. It's why people judge me like they judge their gods. And just like their gods, I don't give a fuck what they think. I don't give a fuck that, you know, people who want to look at me like the horses look at me when I try and pick the shit off their hooves. You know, if you want to be just a mere mortal and believe that being a mere mortal means that you're just okay with eating shit, you know, I'm going to treat you like an animal. That's the fact of the matter. You don't deserve my sympathies. You listen to my orders because I know better. If you don't want to, get the fuck out of my lane. I'll let you believe that you own a lane, but you don't get to actually sell people on the bullshit that you actually have lanes to own, motherfucker. You didn't build what you've done. It wasn't a gift from your parents because they were hard on you or they were easy on you or they had money or you had privilege or what the fuck? You're still sucking on mama's teat. That's the hard truth. And yet I can share my truth. And because it's not manic bullshit. People like you have sold other people on this manic delusion, this fairy tale. Because you're afraid that everything's meaningless because you don't want to make the choice to understand, pick things apart piece by piece by the nitty-gritty details to understand what that meaning is. You'd rather just read the cards, read the universe. There's another interruption from the same fucking alarm. Because I'm spending time in my day to call out manic people that are so afraid of what other people think that they dismiss people who think differently than them. That's why they don't go very deep. It's why their own parents may think that they don't really get it, that, you know, they're taking it a little bit too far, that, you know, they're putting them up on a pedestal. You're not grateful, you're just manic. Everything looks great in rainbows and sunshine and brightness when you're manic. I know. I've had to actually deal with my emotions. I've had to actually work to gain the mental dexterity and control to actually know that you can never actually own happiness, that gratitude doesn't create happiness. Practicing gratitude creates a byproduct of happiness. That's a feeling. It's like being a drug addict. Money doesn't create drugs. You know, the drugs don't create your happiness. Stop abusing gratitude. Stop it. Like, really. You're an addict. You're addicted to happiness. And this is your wake-up call. It's painful. It's painful for me to speak these truths. It's painful for me to know that I have to shovel shit because people want help with that because it's fucking hard and it's not anything anyone wants to do. So they share the things that are hard with other people to give them an opportunity to care. Not because this gives me the ability to do something great. It's not because it gives me the comfort to do something great. It gives me the comfort to do what I need to do for myself, to make my own shit, to own my own shit. That's it. I own my own shit. I own my own success. I don't try and eat my own shit. I sure as hell don't try and eat other people's shit. That's not what being an entrepreneur is about. That's what being a manic fucking salesperson is about. And yet I hope that the manic salespeople who want to dismiss me as judgment, who want to tell me to stay in my lane, I hope and I pray to whatever their God is. Whether it's, you know, the God of the Jews, the God of the Christians, the God of the Romans, the God of, Abraham, the God of, the Africans, the God of the Mesoamericans, the alien gods, or, the New York Jets. I don't care who the fuck you're praying to. I care more about you than you care about yourself. And it hurts me so much to say hard things and to hear people who are so talented complain about how I should just stay in my lane. Motherfucker, you may have eaten shit once and convinced yourself that it's okay to eat shit for the rest of your life, and you may accuse me of psychoanalyzing you or not want me to psychoanalyze you, but it's done. You're easy to read. You're a genius. Don't squander it with laziness, because your talent is productivity, storytelling, and convincing other people and selling other people. It's still lazy if you don't want to deal with your own shit, pay attention to the details, stop selling people on the lie you've sold yourself to become what on the surface other people want, but you have secrets. You have secrets. You may say that these secrets are your family doesn't want to be a part of your public life, or you can't share certain aspects of your business. Motherfucker, if you have secrets, you're not clean. It's not that you're not capable of clean. It's just there's not going to be someone else there to bail you out. There's not someone else that can wash you of your sins. Motherfucker, you got to wash yourself. I have to wash these jeans. I can't make the horses wash these jeans. And I can't make my wife wash these jeans unless she wants to. You know why? Because she's got her own goddamn jeans to wash. That's the reality. We opted into this shit so we don't have to eat shit. Now ask yourself, do you want to be content with acting like a retard and eating your own shit? Or do you want to be better? Because it's so easy. It's so simple. Let me rephrase it's not easy. It's fucking hard. But it's so simple. A classical retard can do it. Own your emotions. Stop chasing things that are outside of your control. Stop turning the people you love and care about into objects of your happiness. It's time. Even if it requires you paying your dues, even if Judgment Day requires massive depression and contradicting your utopian ideals for a while, to get to know yourself. It's time to grow the fuck up. Whether or not you're 5, 55, 85, or whatever the fuck. Whether or not you're white, whether or not you're black, whether or not you're old or young, whether or not you're a man or a woman. It's time to grow the fuck up. I don't want to be shoveling shit for much longer. I don't want to be shoveling shit for 10 years. I don't even want to be shoveling shit for another year. I don't even want to be shoveling shit for another month. I've got 2 more weeks of this shit. And then I have the breathing room to not have to eat other people's shit and tell myself that that's what it is to pay dues. Paying dues means paying your own dues. You're the only one that can put yourself in debt. It's always been your choice. Stop blaming other people. Stop accusing other people. If me telling my story sounds like accusations, sounds like me complaining about your lifestyle, that's your prerogative to believe that. I've been manic. I know how easy it is to sell people and make it actually sound good as long as you don't deny the fact that you want to believe what you're saying. I know how easy it is to sell people if you don't give an inch on your own bullshit that I'm, some cynical, negative person. I'm just not content with deluding myself with mania. I'd rather take ownership for myself in my own actions, in the actions that I'm not responsible for in other people, but nonetheless have some responsibility in being that trigger in them. I share my shit. I share what I've done, not because I'm staying in my lane, but because I'm building and maintaining the lanes that were here long before we ever got here. It's not just about not complaining or not being negative or like turning gratitude into a manic circle jerk. You may sound vulgar, but the world is vulgar. So when I share its truth, you may say, well, that's vulgar. I swear, but that's vulgar. How dare you say these things? How I own the word retard. I turn the word retard into something completely different than what manic salespeople may want to sell people on because they don't want negative bullshit. It's not negative to me. It's just the fact of reality. Some people are retarded. I was one of them. If I can do this, if I can become articulate, if I can learn to code, if I can learn math, if I can be content with my own emotions, if I cannot chase feelings, got interrupted once again. If I cannot chase feelings, like the urgency to be productive. Oh my God, there's an alarm that went off. I gotta stop and do this right now. It's like you're so manic, you leave things unfinished. No, I'm not like that anymore. I don't talk about anything that I haven't experienced personally. And the world isn't about things. It isn't about turning people into things. If you're called a retard, if I call you a retard, that doesn't mean you are absolutely a retard. Just like I didn't want to believe it when I thought people were trying to sell me on it. Some of them were. But others told me, you're mentally ill, but you're not broken. You can pull up your bootstraps and you can either complain about the world being hard and it being shit covered, or you can do your best, help other people, encourage other people, even though they spit on you when you try and encourage them, because that's what this is. That's what the hard truth is. It's an encouragement as well as a reminder, like the reminders on my phone that keep coming through. Eventually, you're not going to be able to ignore it. That's the thing. Judgment Day isn't a one and done thing. It's an ongoing process. Like these alarms, there's an opportunity to change before the alarms start going off, but once they do, they don't stop. And it doesn't mean that the alarms are done. It doesn't mean that the alarms are bad. It doesn't mean that the alarms are annoying. It doesn't mean that the alarms are not sympathetic to the problems that you have, because everyone has problems. Grow the fuck up. The alarms are there whether or not you want it. I'm saying these things whether or not you want it. This world isn't about what you want, and it's not about chasing what you want to make yourself feel better. You can't cover up emotional bankruptcy and empathetical bankruptcy with feelings. It requires caring. It requires listening to your enemies. It requires going to the people who are telling you to eat shit and asking why, seeing what it takes to get them to be vulnerable so that they can share with you why they did that, so you can provide value to them. So if you can't provide value to your enemies, if you can't listen to your enemies, you're not a good person. You're just really good at complaining and selling other people on your complaints, and that your complaints aren't complaints. You're a bullshit artist. If we can't be at peace with the sinners and the saints, if we don't allow ourselves to exile the sinners because we want to believe that we're trying to be a saint, we can be so much more. If we don't react with exclusion, but we use exclusion as a discipline. You don't get to play at my level. I don't care how rich you are, how experienced you are. You don't get to play at my level, even when I'm on the ground level. unless you're willing to accept that my reality may contradict your reality, but that doesn't mean that your reality is wrong. It also doesn't mean that your reality is right. Because this isn't about right and wrong. It's about degrees. Right and wrong are ideals. They're illusory. You can never actually achieve absolute rightness or absolute wrongness. But what end of the scale are you on? Are you going towards not rightness? Are you going towards not wrongness? And here's the hard truth. You may not feel like I'm right because I may not be sympathetic to your situation, but I'm not wrong. You may think that I'm a motherfucker who just doesn't get it, but I'm not wrong. If you can't disprove what I'm saying, all of science says that you're wrong. The skeptic isn't the bad guy. The skeptic is the hero. The skeptic is the Bill Gates to the Steve Jobs that says, all right, we both stole, but I'm not content being an egomaniacal maniac that has created a career out of stealing. It's understanding that we got to pay our dues, not make it so that our dues are somehow right. Our dues are our own mistakes, not these things that we do for other people. That's the hypomanic, like hypoproductive bullshit. Paying your dues isn't about what you do. It's about understanding that you don't deserve to eat shit. You don't deserve to eat other people's shit. It's not about what you can do with your talents. It's about what you can do with your whole self. Not just your mind, not just your body, not just your talents, not just what you're good at, not just whatever you want to believe. It's about all of it. Beliefs that are all or nothing are horseshit. Actions that are all or nothing are serious. Accountable people know that there's no pussyfooting around it. You can't say, yeah, I may be open to this one day or another day. Grow the fuck up. Seriously. And understand that I'm not complaining. I'm sharing my vulnerability. I'm sharing the turmoil of what it is to be a white man who grew up with some great degree of privilege. But I'm also paying my own dues. It's understanding that everything I've done, I'm grateful to myself and the opportunities that were given me, not because of what other people gave me, not because of what other people taught me, but because of what I allowed myself to learn, because of what I allowed myself to listen to, because of what I didn't allow myself to dismiss or disregard as negativity or wrongness. It's not about right or wrong. I'm either not wrong, or you can prove objectively that you're more right. If you can't prove that I'm not right without dismissing me as negative or crazy or retarded, I'm sorry, but I own everything that you talk about. And you're allowed to talk back. And it may feel like I'm saying that you're not allowed to believe differently, but you are. I'm allowed to call you out on your bullshit. I'm allowed to understand that I haven't done anything with my life, but I've just begun. I just happened to start with the emotional stuff, not the productivity stuff. Discipline and accountability are where I'm starting from, not responsibility and trust and, niceness and bullshit like that. Like, I'm built on a foundation of values, forgiveness, kindness, empathy, no room for niceness, sympathy, or bullshit unless you're willing to accept empathy, kindness, and compassion. And compassion at all costs. I got interrupted again. You won't ever understand how the alarms that are interrupting this video are not making me anxious. The horses don't know whether or not it takes me longer than the time schedule that I'm on to bring them out to pasture or not. And while I'm here helping you, who knows? Maybe somebody else saw me take it upon myself to do my responsibilities as, a grown-up in this world, to help others, even when they don't want it, even when they want to complain that I'm wrong, and take care of the responsibilities that need to get done. That's what loyalty is. It's not about happiness. It's not about anger. It's about having the courage to just be still and not need either or to motivate yourself. This has been exhausting for me because it's not coming from a place of anger. It's not coming from a place of negativity. It's not coming from a place of me liking other people to hear what they're doing wrong. I fucking hate sharing people's mistakes with people. I hate it. Hate it almost as much as I hate caring about my own mistakes, but I don't ignore them. I don't write on my talents. My talents are to see the darkness. I've walked through the shadow of death. I've lived a privileged life, and yet still, somehow, I wound up being poor, almost breaking my parents and everything they worked for. To do something greater. And just like wealthy families, it's 3 generations, 80% chance that it's over 80%. I think it's over 90% chance that it's not going to last that 3rd generation. I'm that 3rd generation of hard workers. And I'm not content just with getting rich and successful. I'm not content with just making money and having people's attention. I'm content with nothing. I'm content with being considered nothing. I'm content with other people calling me a retard. And if I want to believe it, I'll believe it. If I don't want to believe it, I'll believe something else. Are they wrong in their beliefs? Fuck no. But if they delude themselves to think that they're right and I'm wrong, well, they're entitled to that as well. Because that's the funny thing about entitlement, is it's like logic. It can be used to prove things right as well as wrong. So on one end, you may be barking about entitlements because you're more productive than me. You've accomplished more. You have more recommendations than me. You've got more of what this world thinks is good. You'll never be able to own yourself like I own myself. You'll never be truly free. Until you understand that I'm not trying to convert you. The truth doesn't need salespeople. It's there whether or not we want to believe it or we don't. 2 + 2 is 4, whether or not people want to convince you that it's 5 or 3. 2 times 2 is 8. Whether or not people want to tell you that the right way is with an X or a star or an asterisk or whatever. Whether or not people want to tell you that these variables are the right way, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter how much we complicate it, how much you overcomplicate it or oversimplify it. The simple truth is multiplication is multiplication is multiplication. Your way may be right, but if I'm saying that all these other ways are right and that somehow makes you feel wrong, You need to deal with that yourself. You can't say that I'm wrong and eventually I'll get it. Stop deluding yourself. Stop perpetrating the mania cults. I'm not doing this to convert you. I'm doing this so that I can hold myself accountable for never making those mistakes ever again, because you're not wrong for believing what you believe. Yet you are retarding yourself with your beliefs. Because beliefs are not the answer. The truth is, facts don't give a fuck about our feelings. So while I have to muster the courage not to get angry about this stuff and share it, you can look back at my other stuff. I was angry as fuck for a long time. If you want to address who you are, really, not who you can sell other people on that you are, but who you are really, that no amount of success, no amount of money will ever be able to cover up what you are right now. And I have hope. I hold out hope that the people who want to call me the evil person, who want to call me judgmental, who want to call me, their version of retarded, I don't need to believe you. And you're not right. Your beliefs don't contradict what you believe are my beliefs. I've come to know this because I have owned myself. I've freed myself. I don't need to be a servant to other people's approval or disapproval. I'm not chasing satisfaction or feelings. I'm not afraid if my family dies. I'm not afraid if my wife dies. I know what I would need to do to buck up and get back on the horse and do it again. Yes, I'd be devastated, but it wouldn't kill me. It wouldn't kill, I'm not so dependent on my drug of feelings that I wouldn't have to end my body because I experience an emotional death because a family member dies, or my wife dies. I would let myself be devastated. I would let myself process like I processed my own death, like I've processed all of their deaths preemptively. I've been productive in maintaining and doing the hard work of emotional awareness. And yes, now I'm getting on that horse of productivity and doing shit and being productive. And yes, it's great. It's invigorating. It's why I'm out here shoveling shit. Instead of blaming and complaining about people who are telling me to eat shit or shovel shit. But there are two options: delude yourself or shovel shit. You don't deserve to eat shit. Don't listen to people who are telling you to eat shit. You can do it all if you're willing to do the work. Because there are people out there who are willing to shovel shit for you. Hell, we live in a digital fucking age where eventually algorithms will be able to shovel shit for us, and we can all just focus on ourselves and build our own empires and not need to hire other people to shovel our shit or eat our shit for us. There won't be any confusion because machines, they don't have feelings that we can accidentally sell on eating shit when we should be selling them on shoveling shit. The fact of the matter, the very people that may feel attacked by what I say, the people that you're trying to defend helped me too. They're only wrong right now when I come out of the woodworks and say that, hey, you can do better, but it feels like I'm saying that you're wrong or they're wrong. I got interrupted again. This time I made sure to turn off the alarm because I know that my wife is home and she's taking care of things. Because that's what it is to have loyalty. Know how people will act if they have some sense of awareness, because they have spatial awareness. They're not content with just riding on their talents. They understand that when shit needs to get done, it's not just about, you not having to eat shit because you've done what you need to do to eat less shit than other people. It's not about eating shit. It's about doing what needs to get done, shoveling shit. because it needs to get done. Not because if you eat shit for 10 years, you'll never have to eat shit ever again. I don't fucking want to eat caviar. I don't want to eat shit either. Because it's way simpler to just shovel shit as long as I need to take care of myself. I'm still reliable for feeding myself. I'm still reliable for making sure the shit that I didn't build doesn't hit the fan. I'm still reliable because I'm fucking accountable. It's not just about whether or not I'm responsible or if I can trust myself. I'm accountable. I'm accountable. Other people can trust me if I commit to something that I didn't understand the complexity of what I committed to up front. It's why I never got into debt up until this point. It's why I wasn't content with getting into debt that I couldn't handle. It's understanding that if I got into debt for anything, I was willing to eat those sins, to my reputation, to everything. I retarded myself with my beliefs and the way I wanted to be coddled because people tried to make me shit. Not because I was bullied and they totally, a few kids told me to eat shit, because adults took, a new adult and raped them. Not metaphorically. Not metaphorically, but literally. And not because women are evil, by both men and women. Something happens once, shame on them. Something happens twice, shame on me. I have no secrets because I take ownership in myself. I don't blame the people who used me and abused me. I don't use them as an example to put myself on a pedestal. I fear for their safety, so I leave their names blank. I make it as obtuse as possible. Because everyone makes mistakes. And that's that. If you're unwilling to respect the privacy of your enemies, to not just be content with hiding, their names, but hiding any details that could be used to identify them, you're a vindictive little prick that doesn't want to give people the room to make real mistakes. That doesn't want to believe that real pain isn't something that existed in a socialist society or a Soviet society or a Nazi society. It can exist in what we may think are utopian societies, like capitalist societies or America. Don't over-idealize this shit. Grow the fuck up. Your lack of entitlement and belief that means you could never be entitled, that you got lucky, has engineered a life of privilege. And while you were never privileged and used productivity to get yourself out of, a life lacking privileges, you've afforded yourself privileges. You've gotten used to them. You thought, wow, this must be right. But you were sold on lies just like I was sold on lies. And here I am to chop those down with the sword of truth. Yes, I've come from a tortured past, but I was the one torturing myself. I was the one attracting the things like a child who thinks that if you cry enough, everything will be worked out for you. Bullshit. Grow the fuck up. You don't have to be a baby crying for mama's teat forever. You can have more. You deserve to have more than just mama's milk. You can grow up, learn more than what you're talented at, because if you think that what you're born with is what you're going to be great at, your entire life? Why did you ever learn more than how to cry and drink mama's milk? That's it. I love that you think you have gratitude, but you don't know the first thing about gratitude. This is the tip of the iceberg. It's like thinking that the tip of the iceberg is the iceberg. You don't know gratitude until you've looked beyond the tip. And I can tell you this. If this hurts, you know, if just the tip hurts, you're going to sink like the Titanic.